The 3DS was an incredible system. It didn't start that way, but boy howdy did it eventually get there. I've perpetually got mine on charge just in case I get a hankering for a slice of that delicious RPG pie. The 3DS was initially slow to catch on, but after the first year it started to very slowly pick up steam. While home to some top-tier Nintendo action titles, you're here for RPGs, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about. The RPG library on the 3DS is both large and full of some incredible titles. You have everything from traditional RPGs like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, action RPGs like Ys and Monster Hunter, and even, my favorite, tactics RPGs in the flavor of Fire Emblem and Devil Survivor. So, for RPG Fortress, my name is Richard, and this is our top 10 Nintendo 3DS RPGs. Number 10, Stella Glow. Stella Glow is a fun little SRPG by the people at Image Epoch. The game is kind of a spiritual successor to the Luminous Arc games for the DS. That fact may turn some people off, but I liked those little games, so I'm fine with it, and I think Stella Glow is a nice little step up. The game's setting is a fairly standard medieval setting with monsters and knights and quaint little villages, but it sets itself apart by having a story that revolves around witches, yes, just like the Luminous Arc games. Combat is your standard SRPG fare involving walking around on the battlefield and smacking around enemy units. Outside of battle, you have a host of activities including quests, exploring for treasure, and relationship building because every game has to be Persona. Stella Glow definitely flew under a lot of radars, but I think it's a solid and fun title, plus witches are cool. Number 9, The Alliance Alive. Hey, it's Alliance Alive, a game that only I played. It was developed by Cattle Call, the same people who created a number of other great games that no one else has played, like the PS2 Arc the Lad games, The Legend of Legacy, and Apuna. The Alliance Alive is a traditional turn-based RPG, and sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes a nice hearty slab of nostalgia is all you need for a game to be good. What AA lacks in Flash, it more than makes up with solid old-school turn-based combat. The story, likewise, is meat and potatoes, you've gotta kill the baddies kind of story. 1 millennium ago, some demons got together and yada yada. It's now 1,000 years later and you have to squash them. A simple story for a simple game. And when you want a solid RPG experience, sometimes that's all you really need. Number 8, Radiant Historia. Now, some watchers may want this game to be a lot higher on the list, but I think it fits in at number 8. I know you guys love it, and I know you think it's great, but it's my number 8. Radiant Historia began its life on the OG DS, but was remastered on the 3DS and is enhanced in just about every single way. The world of Radiant Historia is one that has been ravaged by ongoing wars. The world is divided amongst warring kingdoms of humans and beastmen, with tensions fit to break if someone even sneezes. It's a little grimdark, but not nearly as grimdark as some other titles. The game has a very dynamic time travel system that can be used to replay dungeons, battles, and story events. This system will allow you to alter the timelines. Yes, you're going to be working with multiple timelines, and is very, very engrossing. It's so engrossing that I had to use a guide many times to get the best ending. And that might be why it's not higher on the list. I was literally glued to a guide for so much of this game, and it was pretty distracting. But that being said, the graphics, the music, the story, the world building is all great. Number 7, Persona Q2. Hey guys, just in case you didn't know, just in case you weren't aware, just to let you know, just in case you were indeed unaware, there are a lot of Atlas games on this dumb little system, and Persona Q2 is definitely one of them. It's one of the games to ever get listed. Persona Q and Q2 are basically what happens when you slam Persona and Etrian Odyssey together into Dr. Brundle's science machine, but instead of a horrid fly man, you get a hot little dungeon crawler with Persona 3, 4, and 5 characters. Q2 plays a lot like the Etrian Odyssey games, but with some tweaks and adjustments to add a little bit of Persona attitude to shine through. The game also has loads and loads of Persona fan service with characters interacting on and off the battlefield. Q1 is good, but I prefer Q2 just due to the added characters from P5. Number 6, Devil Survivor 1 and 2. For number 6, I am cheating. It's my list, I'll do whatever I want with it. And I'm adding both Devil Survivor 1 and 2. Both Devil Survivor 1 and 2 appeared on the OG DS back in the day, and I love them there, but the 3DS remasters are just on another level. These versions have spoken dialogue, additional demons, and lots more to engage with. And I have to say, both games are pretty much on par with each other. What I love about these cheeky little SRPGs is the unique take on combat. You've got your traditional top-down battlefields where the enemy units and your devil summoners walk around, but when engaging in combat, your summoner summons his 2 equipped demons, meaning that each unit is actually 3 in 1. With this intricate way of setting up combat units, the massive amount of recruitable demons, and a unique skill system where you get to swap skills learned from defeating enemies, the Devil Survivor games are really engaging. I know it's a bit of a hot take, but these 2 games are 2 of my favorite SMT titles. Now, where the heck is Part 3, Atlas? Number 5, Etrian Odyssey 4. Etrian Odyssey is one hell of a series. It takes that old school wizardry gameplay of hardcore first-person dungeon crawling and refines it for a slightly more accessible adventure. Etrian Odyssey 4 is all about customizable parties and navigating huge, intricate dungeons. The fact that you can have powerful and viable parties of just about any combination of units is truly remarkable. Exploration in this game is just a beautiful thing. The labyrinth is sprawling with so much to see and do, and fight. You're going to be spending a lot of time kicking the absolute shit out of goblins, all while traversing the giant maze-like dungeon. Etrian Odyssey 4 is one hell of a quest. Now, put it on Steam, you craven mother. Number 4, SMT4. Fuck me, there's a lot of Atlas on this list. Shin Megami Tensei 4 is a gigantively massive quest with loads to see and do. If you ask me, it's the best mainline SMT game. In fact, it might be the second best SMT overall. What's number 1? Well, it might just show up later on this list. Grinding. People hate it, but I am a sadomasochist and I love some good optional grinding. And I loved grinding my demons in SMT4. Getting a new spooky boy just to spend some time with him and making him stronger is a hell of a good time. The game also has some interesting characters as well, which can be a little bit rare for the SMT games. Characters like Isabeau and Jonathan, and the way their personalities interact and evolve during the game is actually really quite good. SMT4 is better than SMT5, there I said it. Number 3, Bravely Default. Bravely Default is the best Final Fantasy game in years. Bravely Default is the canon sequel to 4 Heroes of Light. Bravely Default is a game that does not respect your time. Bravely Default is very good. Longtime channel viewers may remember a time where I posted a now long deleted video about Bravely Default not respecting your time, which, I have mostly changed my mind about. The game is loaded with so much content that you can live off of this game like a nocturnal lizard living off of grubs in a damp cave. Bravely Default is an incredible RPG that meshes the best of old school traditions and new school ideas into one absolutely enchanting experience. The combat has a one-of-a-kind system where you can essentially take extra turns right now but be at a deficit later. It also has so many jobs to unlock. It is absolutely pornographic with how many jobs that you can unlock. BD also has a great story, great world building, and great characters. Its gameplay and story go hand in hand, something that you can't always say about RPGs. But Bravely Default manages to tie everything together into one neat, comprehensive package, plus that soundtrack. Holy shit. Number 2, SMT: A Strange Journey. Shit, here we go again. There's a lot of Atlas on this list. That company was absolutely on fire during this time period. The 3DS is just overflowing with quality Atlas titles, and Strange Journey is the best of them. Another enhanced remake, Strange Journey, is often criticized for its enhancements? Wait, really? Well, despite the added quote-unquote enhancements, the 3DS version of Strange Journey is still peak SMT. In fact, Strange Journey might be the best SMT game. Strange Journey's dungeon crawling is on another plane of existence. These maps are massive and loaded with things to find, loaded with twists and turns, and swarming with demons to fight and befriend. Just thinking about those maps makes me want to start it up again. It's an SMT game, so the story is based on the apocalypse. But this version of the apocalypse takes inspiration from John Carpenter's seminal film and one of my favorite movies of all time, The Thing. We're in Antarctica, there's something dark and menacing threatening humanity from this icy realm, and it escalates very quickly. If I ever do an OG DS top 10, expect this game to be just as high on that list too. And at number 1, it's Fire Emblem Awakening. Oh fam, you know me, you knew that it had to be this game. Fire Emblem Awakening is a massive mammoth of a mind-breakingly time-stealer of a game. Potentially set to be the final game in the series, Awakening was such a hit that it resurrected the entire FE series as a whole, and it's easy to see why. The game is both for hardcore tactics fans, curious newbies, people who just want to date waifus, and people who just want a solid SRPG. The gameplay is both simple and complex, with ramping difficulty and other options that make this game perfect for old school vets and new players alike. Awakening has an immense amount of content. Some of that content, like waifu dating and DLC meant to make things quote-unquote too easy, is somewhat maligned by old school fans and people who only want to play games on dick-breakingly hard mode. You can skip it! If you don't like the DLC, just skip it. You don't like the waifu dating? Just skip it. It's real easy to skip the content that you don't like. For me, Fire Emblem Awakening had just the right levels of tactics, waifu dating, story, characters, world building, and aesthetics. My first playthrough was something ridiculous like 180 hours, and I later went back for more. And I normally don't go back to a game after I've finished it, but I went back to Awakening, and talking about it right now, I feel like going back to it again. I love this game so much. And that's the end of my big dumb list. Do you agree? Leave a comment. Do you disagree? Also, leave a comment. We're on our way to 3,000 followers, wow, and I just want to say thank you. Each and every one of you that watches these videos, thank you very much, I really do mean it. If you liked the video, please give us a like. If you want to monetarily support the channel, please join our Patreon and be cool, just like Aaron. You get a fun Discord role based on Shining Force, you get to vote in polls, and you get to have me say your name with my real-life human voice at the end of every video. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. For RPG Fortress, my name is Richard. See you soon, and don't forget to hug a cat. Goodbye.